Guys, and welcome back to the Get Growth channel. I hope you had a fantastic holiday season with Christmas and the New Year Eve as well, together with your family. And I hope also that this new year brings you great results and success in your marketing efforts, and also that you reach the top ranking positions in Google with your site. So I'm really glad to see you again here in 2018. That's why today I want to talk a little bit about the top marketing trends and SEO trends for this year, for 2018. And we're going to talk about 10 main things that I think that will be important this year in marketing online and also in SEO, and discuss each of them in detail, and also give you some ideas of what you can do with your own strategies to basically be on top of all these trends. Okay, so if you like the video, of course, don't forget to like it and to click that button, the like button below. And also, if you want to keep on finding out how to use different tools, marketing tools, and how to use Squirrely at its top and its full potential, also subscribe to the Get Growth channel here. We have a video out each week on Thursdays. Me and Florine talk a little bit more about each topic, and we show you different walkthroughs either to Squirrely or other marketing tools that could help you. Okay, great. So what I want to discuss here first in the top marketing and SEO trends for 2018 is video marketing. So this is obvious that's going to be really big in 2018. It's already been really influential in the years that have already passed, 2016 and 17 as well. And this year, we're not going to just see it here on platforms like we're here now today on YouTube, but it's also going to be really influential all over the internet. So what I'm referring to is the fact that users nowadays prefer video content more than written one, for example. They prefer to listen to a video, to look at a video, and also I think that in this category of video marketing, we should also include the audio one. I think that depending on the specific niche and field that you're in, I think that either video marketing or podcasts and some type of audio marketing will help you a lot in 2018. And as I was saying, so YouTube is really big, is getting even bigger, but at the same time, you'll see that on social media platforms as well. So on Facebook and Instagram mainly, you'll see that there are a lot of video content that is pushed in front of you in your newsfeed. You'll see more and more video content. I think you've already noticed that. And that is because a lot of the audience and the users on Facebook and Instagram and other social media platforms are navigating through to this type of content, and they're liking it and they're enjoying it. But the big shift, I think, in video marketing in 2018 is the fact that we're not, us as marketers, we're not going to consider it just like a gold mine that could only bring results if you can push it to be something viral, but rather that it's going to become more of the norm. So more of everybody is creating video marketing, and in order to get a larger audience and more people that would listen to you and what you have to offer as content, you would have to have it at a quality level or higher quality level. And yeah, I think that's what's going to happen with video marketing in 2018. But I definitely consider that this is going to be a big marketing trend in 2018. Now, the next one is more about SEO. So, mentions without links. This is our next topic. The linkless mentions that we've known about a little bit in 2017. So, we know that Google can identify a brand even if the site is not linked, because it is mentioned within a written content on the internet. And we already know that Bing has been using this in its algorithm, but I think that this is going to become even more important in Google's algorithm. Meaning, until now, we've seen how important it was to have links back to your domain, back to your site, and there have been different strategies to get those links back to your site and to make them worthy and making your site rank better. And I think that this is right now a very important part of the Google algorithm, and it's going to still be there, but in the future, and this is going to be better seen in 2018 from my own opinion, that just the mentions without the link will have this, if not the same importance, but they're going to gradually get there to have the same importance as links do right now. Maybe not in 2018. Maybe not in 2018 they will be as important as links, but we will gradually get there this year. So we're gonna make steps in that direction. So that's going to really be really important. So it's something that you can work on even from now. So it's always great to have a backlinking campaign, basically getting other sites to link back to your content and making sure that your content is shared, at least on the big social media platforms, so like Facebook, Twitter, Google, and other sites like that. And also there are social media bookmarking sites that you can use, and different platforms and directories. But what you should consider for the mention without links aspect is to have either guest posts that you're posting on different sites, or sending emails to other sites, just to at least mention your app, your product, your site, even if it's not with a link, because this will help you in future months, I think, or at least in this future year, and at least at the end of it, and from there on. So if you have long-term strategy for your brand, do consider this. So if you're not getting the link, at least get the mention, and it will help you. I consider it will help you in the future, as this is the direction that Google's algorithm is changing. So next, something that I think that it's a little bit predictable that it is here on my list, is the mobile first. So what does this mean? As we've already known for several years, mobile is a really important part of search, and it's really important for Google as well. But the shift now, it's going to be towards the fact that the experience that people have on your site should be, first of all, thought out for mobile devices. So that means the design of your site, and also the experience and how people interact with your site should be the best, first of all, on your mobile devices. And then you need to consider how it will look on desktop as well, but you can minimize, let's say, the options that you have for your desktop if not all of them work within the design for desktop, the ones for mobile, but also always focus first of all on the mobile aspect of search and of the user experience that visitors of your site have when they're using mobile devices. Okay, so one particular aspect that's really important here when you're thinking about mobile first is the speed at which your site, and basically the pages within your site, are loading. So to be even more specific, you should focus on getting all the pages in your site to load under 3 seconds. Yes, 3 seconds. That seems like a complicated thing to do, but you can do this for your site, and you can start working on this. Now, if you have a WordPress site, you can start by finding different plugins that can speed up your site. It's also important to consider how many plugins you have and any other aspect that can slow down your site. I've talked a little bit about this in a past video, and I'm going to link to it so you get more details from there. But it is really important to have a great speed of your site. You can also optimize the visual content that you have on your site. So compress images before uploading them, and anything you can do to basically make your site faster. And this will help you a lot in mobile first. But again, make sure that the experience that the visitor has from mobile devices on your site is great. So you cannot, in 2018, there's no way you can say you don't have a mobile version, or at least a really good mobile version of your site. And yeah, this is going to be really important. It already is, and this is going to influence a lot the way that Google shows you on mobile. Okay, so the next one is structured data. So what I'm talking about when I mean structured data, I'm thinking about all the information that you basically see on Google when you're searching for something. That has changed a lot. In the past, you only had like the title of the page or the article that you saw there and a really short description. Now things are changing a lot, and taking into consideration rich snippets and also JSON, LD. These are all schema and structured data that Google uses to basically enhance the results that you get on Google. And this is something that you can easily work on your site and make it better from this aspect of the structured data in 2018 by using Squirrely. So I've already shown you in a lot of videos that I've done on this channel how you can basically improve the way that your articles look like when they get ranked on Google, and also how they can look better even on social media sites. And I've shown you that for specific pages with the snippet, and I'm going to put a card here. Also, we've shown you how to do that with patterns, where you can basically create a pattern for your articles or your product pages and make sure that the way that it is, the information that is shown on Google is the one that you've established there. Also, we've shown you how to do the JSON LD for your own site, and Squirrely, the plugin Squirrely, helps you to do that, to establish that and put all the information there to make it easier for Google to find them and to basically present the best image of your organization when someone is searching for it on Google. Yeah, and structured data is going to be really important. It's going to be used more on Google, and also I think that this is going to influence the decision that Google makes whether to put one site above another. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about that on next points. Okay, so the next one is micro moments. So we talked a little bit about mobile. So yeah, a lot of people are using mobile to search for different aspects on the internet, to even make purchases, and we're using our phone everywhere and all the time. We're using on the street the moment that we get out of bed. Yeah, so this is one of the reasons why mobile and micro moments are really important. Now, what are micro moments? Google defines them as those moments where a user has a need or a desire to use their mobile devices on the fly, let's say. So basically to find or to purchase something, to go somewhere, and they use their mobile device to find that specific information there. So it's just like when you're in your car and you're wondering where you can eat somewhere, and you just take out your phone, you go on Google, and you go like, what's a really close restaurant that you can eat at, or when you're using Siri for the same thing. And that's a micro moment. That's something that is important for you, the user, in that specific moment. And in order for Google or Siri or other platforms like this to give you the best results, they have to have a lot of information about that specific user in that case. So that means they need to have all the information that Google already has to personalize your searches. Yes, so like your history, what you like, what you don't like, from what you've done on the internet, purchases you've made in the past that Google knows about, and other things like that. And it also has to know information that are connected to that specific moment. So that means location, where you are, and that's an information that they can receive because the user's on their mobile. So you need to establish to give your mobile device the ability to know its location in order to find restaurants near you. And other information like that. So even demographics it can know, and putting all those things together is what makes that micro moment and actually giving the best option. The way that you can be on top of this marketing trend, I think, is to have a really good strategy of not just the global way that you can show up on Google, but also taking into account local and specific keywords, and also strategies, or marketing strategies. That means that you should have a strategy that takes into account the global, as I was saying. So that means articles that are ranking on top keywords, core keywords that you have for your site, but also consider very specific local keywords that could help you in being ranked better on Google for these specific situations. So that means not necessarily articles that you would have on your site, but rather that you would have a landing page, or that you'd have information that you're offering to Google about it. If you have like stores, physical stores, it's good to have those information on Google to make sure that when you're searching for your store, they know the exact location and your hours when you're open, because that will help them in suggesting it to anybody that is searching on Google within that location. But if it's not a store, if it's not a physical store, or just an online store, or just a site, it's also good to consider local searches, because in many cases people will search for something locally and then find that there's actually a better solution online that they could use. So I'm not thinking here about restaurants, but maybe for products that they need within their house, and they usually order them, or they would like to find the store within their area, but they find out that they can order them online and get them at home within 1 or 2 days. So that's one option that you have to have a strategy that is more micro moment friendly, let's say. So okay, so the next topic that I have here on my list that I want to talk about is the free reach on social media, particularly Facebook. And unfortunately, I think that in 2018 we'll have, all of us as businesses, to have to say goodbye to the ability to have free reach on social media. And that means that, taking into consideration the tests and experiments that Facebook has been doing in the last quarter of 2017, specifically the Explore tab that they want to include in the Facebook app. If that's going to happen, that means that probably the only way that users will get in contact with brands that they don't already like their Facebook page or interacted with that specific business on Facebook is going to be slim to none. So you're not going to find, as a user, new businesses. That's what it's going to mean, because if they're moving all of the businesses and all of the fan pages that you haven't interacted with in a different tab, the possibility of you actually interacting with them is slim to none. So that means, from us, the perspective of marketers that are working in businesses, that if we want our business to be closer to Facebook audiences, we'd have to pay for ads. So that's why I consider that in 2018, free reach, especially on Facebook, if not all social media, is going to be a topic that is going to be hard to do. So free reach, I think that era is over, and the only way that social media can really work for businesses and different audiences is, especially new ones, is through paid services of social media. Now, if you already have your audience, I'm not saying that this will affect you that much in interacting with them. But again, that's going to be if you already have an established audience, if they're already the right target that you are searching for, and if they're active, that this won't affect you as much, because they're the way that new people will get to interact with your content and get to know your brand is going to be by the social media word of mouth that these audiences are creating for you. But if you're new, or if you don't already have a great audience, engaging audience on Facebook, getting new users and getting new likes to your fan page or to your business page is going to be really hard if you're not investing a real budget into social media, especially Facebook. So quality content is king. So we all know the phrase, right? Content is king. This phrase has been used too much on the internet in the last years, and there has been so many spin-offs of it. But I think that the right one for 2018 is that quality content is king. And I'm saying this for several reasons. First one being that I think we've already reached this point where there's too much content on the internet, and for any user to be able to easily find it and enjoy it. So you'd have to have quality content in order to reach the audience, to share it, and to get further up, either if it's ranking or if it's social reach that you want to get. So that's the first reason. The second one is how the algorithm from Google has changed, and they can basically tell from semantic analysis of the content on your site if it's relevant to the topic that you're talking about. So that means that you have to have a really high quality content in order for Google to consider you in top ranking positions. And that is really important. If you want to get anywhere with your content in terms of ranking, you need to have quality content. So what you can do is focus on creating stronger pieces. So rather than having 4 short pieces a week, rather have just one that is a longer piece, that is research, that is really well written, in order to get the best results for your site. So that's what I think that you should focus on. So rather than focusing just on content and creating as much content, focus on creating the best quality content you can in each piece that you publish on your site. Okay, so next is Google features. I think this is going to be a really big thing. Don't know yet how this is a way to push your site forward in Google searches. But what I'm talking about specifically is not just the way that the algorithm of Google's changed over the year, but also the way that it looks, so the interface. I think that we've already noticed that when you're searching on Google, you find now different elements there that weren't before. So like, for example, something we talked about even in previous topics today, so like the structured data. So we have like the JSON LD, so you're searching for, I don't know, a news site or a very famous author, and you get that on the side. You get like the image, a short bio, a few details about him, and that is one element. But there are also new ones that come each day. For example, the question ones, where you get different articles, maybe even within your site, that get ranked higher, and in those special brackets where you have a question that people are asking on the internet connected to a keyword, and then your article, if it has the right structure within it, will be featured there, showing like step by step how to do that thing, or why that is important, and different questions that are connected to the first topic, and elements like that, as well as articles, videos that are just visual elements that are more appealing basically to click on. And I think that those and how to rank on those elements is going to become more important and the focus of most companies rather than just focusing on search engine alone. So, ranking on search engine alone. Okay, so of course, conversational user interfaces. What I'm referring to here is I think that more and more brands will be interested in having a conversational way of interacting with their users. One way that they could do this is through chatbots. They're getting a lot of traction, and I think that this is going to be really interesting to see how it evolves. But also, conversational user interfaces can also refer to audio ones. What I'm thinking here is the fact that not just the mobile devices that have like Google, Siri, Cortana, but also other devices like the ones that Amazon has with the Alexa and the Echo devices are basically having a conversational way of showing you new products or new information. And I think that we have an opportunity in 2018 as businesses to change the way that we create the content in order to be easily adaptable to this conversational user interface. But also, as I was saying, I think that more companies will actually have their own chatbot and create their own way of having a conversation with the user, not just adapting their content to be useful in conversational interfaces like the ones that Google has and Alexa as well. So I think this is going to be really interesting to see how it evolves. And the last one, and bear in mind, it's the last one because I don't think that this one will be the thing that we will remember about 2018 at the end of the year, but I do think that there are going to be some progress in this area, and that is voice marketing. So I've already mentioned in the conversation user interface the fact that there are different devices and programs that use basically vocal commands to get information and to interact with the user. Basically, what we already know from Google is that 20% of the mobile inquiries are voice searchers. So that is a lot. But more than that, a lot of purchases online are done via voice. So either if it's through Siri, through Alexa that I've mentioned previously, or to other smart devices, like, I don't know, even your fridge. Like, you can ask the fridge what you have in your fridge and then just order what you need directly from there. And you're not going to push a button. You're just going to say, order that, add it to my shopping list. And that's what it's going to be. And I think that this is something that we need to consider for future. And also I think that this is going to have some drastic changes in 2018. It's a whole year. We're going to see a lot of this, a lot of talk about this. And I don't know at the moment what are the best strategies to stay on top of this, but I think it's a way that you can focus on this is to have the content that you're creating to be let's say focused on more natural ways of speaking, like answer questions and be focused on questions. And one way that you can find different questions on topics is using the platform Answer the Audience. They have really great ways that if you input one keyword that is important for you, to give you a whole list of questions that people are searching for. All these are taken out of search engines, and basically the suggestion that the search engine gives you when you're putting in a keyword, and they're just adding them there, and you can focus on those and start with answering to those that are specific to your niche, and then just create new questions that you think your audience is asking or find out from them. But again, if you'd like to know more about how to find out more information about your audience and what they're expecting to find on your site, you can always check our expectation marketing strategy that we're presenting on Squirrely. I'll put a link to it here to find out more about it. We've talked about it in previous videos, and you can find out all about it from there. So these were my top 10 marketing trends that I think that will be really important in 2018. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helps you have a better idea on how to create the strategy for this year, or at least for the first quarter, and what you should be focusing on. I've mentioned a lot of ways that you can stay on top of these changes and focus on the right strategy and tactics for your own marketing in 2018. About it for today. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. Also, you can find us on Twitter at SquirrelyHQ, and there you will find lots of lessons, marketing lessons that we publish each Monday and Tuesdays. And also on Instagram, on Get Growth, where you can find inspirational quotes from marketing experts, and of course our blog, where we publish content that will help you become better marketers. Thank you. Bye bye.